The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is on the air, and it's heard on WNOV 860 AM and W293CX 106.5 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, WWDB 860 AM in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, WAAM 1600 AM and 92.7 FM Ann Arbor, Michigan, and KMET 1490 AM Banning, California. Coming up on the program today, we're going to go over how you can plant successful fall garlic for a springtime harvest, and what did not work well in your garden and how are you going to fix it. We dive into our social media to get the answers on that. And author and motivational speaker Shawna Coronado will be with us, plus your garden questions, and that all starts right now. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show. So glad you've taken time out of your day to join us on the program, whether you're in Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Southeast Michigan, or anywhere throughout the country, listening via the simple radio app, the TuneIn app, or through the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com underneath the radio tab at the top of the page. If you're watching on podcast replay or in-studio video replay, well, if you're listening on podcast replay, you can't really watch on podcast replay. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm your host, Joey Baird. Beside me is my wife, co-host, best friend, and gardening partner,
Holly Baird.
You can find all of our content at our website. That's the one, the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, where there's over 1,500 garden videos, plus Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media contacts in which you can reach us anytime, day or night. The executive sponsor of the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is Power Planter.
Planting conditions are always favorable with the Power Planter Earth Auger. No matter what the job is, Power Planter has the right size for you. Simply attach to a drill and let the Power Planter do the work for you. Create planting holes fast and efficiently with ease. No matter the soil type, it does the job effortlessly. Increase your root-to-soil contact. Leave the shovel and the spade in the shed. Hand-welded and made in the USA, we offer lifetime warranty on product defects. You can find out more. What fits your project at PowerPlanter.com. They also have they're now a distributor of DeWalt drills. They offer 3 different drills to meet whatever need you may have. The website suggests what drills are recommended for what size auger.
You want to get a hold of us, you can do that in a variety of different ways. The Ivy Organics communication hotlines.
Ivy Organic 3-1 Plant Guard naturally protects plants against damaging sunburn, insects, and rodents, protects newly installed plants and trees, shields pruned and damaged surfaces. For use on your roses, fruit and nut trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs, this product is non-toxic, environmentally safe, and organic. You can visit ivyorganics.com. You can email us through the Ivy Organics 3-1 Plant Guard email inbox, and that is twvgshow@gmail.com. Or you can send us a text on the text hotline. That is 414-368-9311. Again, 414-368-9311.
We're going to talk about garlic, or some people call it the stinking rose of the garden. We consider it a lost vegetable when with many people forgetting or not knowing that they can grow it very easily in their garden in the fall and harvest it in spring. It's quite easy to do, and there's some techniques and tips in which we're going to share in order to increase the success of your garlic crop.
Right. So garlic is fun to grow, or as I say, it's stupid easy to grow. And it's very true. It does take about 9 months, though. So with that being said, you have to consider where you're going to plant this garlic, and you're going to have to consider the fact that you're taking up that real estate or spot for that amount of time. But one thing you want to have is full sun. I have a little saying, if it's for the root or fruit, it needs full sun. If it's for the greens, it can have some shade. So garlic, you're definitely growing the root. You do not necessarily have to designate a grow bed for 100% garlic. You can intermingle the garlic in existing flower beds, to be existing vegetable beds that will be planted in the spring. You just may have to do some mathematical calculations on order where to plant so you have spacing for the other crops in which you're going to put in. But it does not have to be a designated, this has to be all garlic, all the whole thing. So there's a couple of things in which we need to follow before identifying the type of garlic that is best for our garden. We need to have good soil. As you talked about, Holly, we need to have full sun. So you can plant it by other plants, as you had mentioned. Yep. But the big thing is that with the good soil, it's like well-draining soil, loose soil, because it's a root crop, so it needs to have that loose soil to expand and grow.
Generally, if you're planting any vegetables, that's the key to a good success is good loose soil. You don't want to plant it in concrete or clay. You want to have good amended soil.
maybe some plants like some weeds like the concrete.
Dandelions.
But like even sunchokes, they grow in kind of questionable soil. So the garlic is not one of those plants. Doesn't enjoy concrete or questionable soil. Wants happy soil.
So there's two different groupings of garlic here. Technically 3, but officially 2. There's soft neck garlic and there's hard neck garlic. And then, yes, there is elephant garlic, but elephant garlic is not actually a garlic. It's part of the leek family. However, it does contain a garlic flavor. Now,
and I think it's kind of easy to peel, too.
Yes, it's very large cloves. Mm-hmm. Elephant garlic is planted in the spring, harvested in the fall, like your spring onions would be. Fall garlic, and then there are ways in which you can plant spring garlic, but we're going to focus on fall garlic here. You plant the garlic in later portions of fall, you allow it to establish, then you harvest it in late spring, early summer. That's what we have found to be the best success.
So let's talk about the bulbs. So if you harvested garlic in June or July, like we did, you should have set aside the largest bulbs, which would produce the largest cloves. If you purchase garlic, you want to look for the meatiest bulbs possible. If you order it online, obviously that's not really your choice, but at least you know for next year.
Well, let's talk about soft neck or hard neck. What do we want? What's best? There is not really necessarily a wrong answer. However, hard neck seems to do better in the northern portions of the United States. There are gardeners in the northern portions that do very well with soft neck. The two major characteristical differences between hard neck and soft neck is the hard neck will produce a scape, an external growth at the top of the plant late in spring that will, if left alone, create a seed pod. Removing that gives you garlic scapes and reduces the energy in which the plant is putting out for that seed pod and puts it into bulb development so you have a larger bulb. Soft neck garlic does not have that seed pod growth on it. It simply will fall over when the plant is ready to be harvested, exactly like your spring onions in the fall. They'll fall over, they'll crimp, that's time to harvest. The other characteristic difference between the two, if you don't know if you have hard neck or soft neck, is simply the stem goes all the way through the bulb into the roots on a hard neck. On a soft neck, the stem goes to the top of the bulb, and that's it. So there's another way to identify. Now, if you want to find, you said if you have saved garlic from the spring harvest, you can use that. What if you don't have that option? You can
Google or search garlic, fresh garlic to grow, or garlic garlic
bulbs.
Yeah, garlic bulb seeds, whatever. Locally, so you can try to find something locally. We have a great local farm not too far from the Milwaukee area. Otherwise, you can look online. But if you look online, you want to try to buy something that's within your region.
You don't want to buy something from Phoenix and try to grow it in Maine, that type of thing. Now, if you are unable to find that garlic locally, you can go to your local organic health food store.
Or your local farmer's market.
They would have actual variety. What you want to avoid is going to the big box grocery store and buying the garlic that's a generic variety that has very little.
It's probably been growing in Asia or China.
That's where a predominant of these come from.
It's grown hydroponically, which isn't a bad thing. They do grow it very resourcefully, but it's not going to grow for you in your garden.
Do not grow generic, normal store-bought garlic in your garden. It does not work. Some people find that it will work, but whenever you get a true or authentic heirloom or organic variety, it is a tremendous success in order to grow in your garden. Now, we want to plant this about 30 days before our intended first hard freeze. That can be a guess for anybody, no matter where you're at in the United States. However, that allows the bulb to start to develop roots prior to it going to dormancy. You want to, and not required, but you can soak your cloves, the largest cloves, for about 24 hours in a water, in a manure tea, in a compost tea to help hydrate that liquid, in a fertilizer tea, some type, to hydrate that clove in order to get a better jump start, energy boost it. You want to plant it about 2 to 4 inches deep and spacing those bulbs about 8 inches apart and rows 1 foot apart in your bed.
You also want to plant it so it's like a teardrop when it comes out. So you want to plant just like it comes out of the bulb, the cloves. You're going to plant with like a teardrop shape with the point up.
Yeah, the wide portion down, the skinny portion up. And you just let it sit there. You don't have to do anything.
So the biggest thing is that, so we here in the Milwaukee area plant our garlic the first weekend in October. But you can kind of figure out what you want to establish. And the reason why we do this is you want to allow the garlic to establish some roots. So if you live in an area that maybe you have a longer time till the frost or freeze, you might want to plant a little bit later.
So that's how, and then in springtime, you will go ahead and side dress it, fertilize it, make sure that everything looks okay, and then then you'll get the scapes come up if you're doing the hardneck garlic. You can plant spring garlic and harvest it in the fall in the same characteristics in which we have just spoke about. However, you do not want to. You wanted to get that in as quick as you can in the spring because these garlic cloves need a certain number of cold hours in order to properly develop. So if you plant it in the same time you plant like your tomatoes, it's not going to grow very good. It's not going to develop the way you want it to.
Now let's talk about mulch for a second.
Yes.
Some people mulch their garlic, some people don't. If you do mulch your garlic, that's fine. We don't mulch ours. But if you do, you just want to do a thin layer.
We over-mulched a couple of years before we actually learned how to do this correctly and smothered the garlic out. You can mulch, but we choose not to. And we find that it has no harsh effects to the development of the garlic at all. One thing you want to be aware of is if you do choose, or you may, when we talked about the garlic seeds, those take 24 months to develop into the bulb. If you take the clove and plant it, it takes 9 months in order to develop correctly. So that's why we encourage you to use the clove off the harvested bulb rather than try to find seed. It's just much, much more efficient, effective, and easier in order to grow the garlic.
Right. So let's kind of recap here. Biggest bulbs, biggest cloves. You can soak it. You want to plant it so that it establishes root before your frost or freeze. And you want to find a well-draining soil, full sun, excuse me, and you also want to plant it 8 inches apart in foot-spaced rows.
That's right. And try to find do not get a generic variety. Well, that's how we can plant garlic, a quick, easy way. You can always find more information out on our website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com. Well, when we come back, it's going to be what didn't work in your garden and how are you going to fix it. We're going to dive into our social media platforms and find out what our followers, what you guys have said, didn't work well and what they're going to do about it, as well as what didn't work for us. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show.
.24/7, 365. The WisconsinVegetableGardener.com has all the gardening information you need, videos, digital magazines, replays of shows, and more.
Shield and Seal vacuum sealers and the highest quality vacuum sealing products, unique black and clear and all black bags, protecting your produce and product better than traditional bags. Find out more at shieldandseal.com. Root Assassin, a garden tool that does all the root functions with its advanced shovel that has serrated edges on both sides. Find out more information at rootassassinshovel.com. The Norwalk juicer is the best cold-pressed juicer on the market. Studies have shown the Norwalk juicer produces 50 to 100% more juice than other juicers. And juice from the Norwalk is higher in minerals and nutritionally superior. Not only do you get more juice from your produce, but also better quality juice. Check it out at norwalkjuicers.com. Use coupon code GardenTalk to get free continental U.S. shipping on the Model 290 juicer.
Never question your garden soil again. Know what's in your soil with confidence. Professional grade soil test for the home gardener. My Soil Savvy has the easiest soil test on the market. Ship it to them, get your report, emailed with nutrients recommendation, and grow happy, healthy plants. MySoilSavvy.com. Use coupon code TWVG19 and save 10% at checkout.
Wisconsin Greenhouse Company has custom-made greenhouses to suit your needs. Grow fruit and vegetables all year long. Strongest greenhouses available that will last a lifetime. Beautiful design available in any size and color. weather-resistant, energy-efficient to save on that heating cost. Mix and match with glazings to suit your climate. Sturdy and durable, they'll hold up to those heavy snow loads. They'll even add them to homes. For agricultural to lodging to entertaining, it's a great addition to any garden or landscape. Check them out at WisconsinGreenhouseCompany.com. Let the garden go to nature. This garden tip is sponsored by BioSafe, organic solutions that are effective. They offer an array of eco-friendly products, from plant food to fertilizer to one-of-a-kind herbicides, organic weed killer. Grow stronger, healthier with BioSafe. Visit biosafe.net to learn more. And save 10% on your next order by using coupon code TWVG at checkout. When gardening season is over, do not remove everything out of your garden. You can remove the diseased plants, but leave flower heads and healthy plant matter that has died naturally for the nature to live on under and during the winter. Garden seeds do not have to cost a fortune, just 99 cents at migardener.com. Now with over 450 varieties of non-GMO, heirloom, and organic flower, vegetable, and herb seeds available year-round. Pay less and get more seeds. Shipping as low as $2.50. That just makes sense. Go to migardener.com for seeds and garden needs, tools, and special blend fertilizers. migardener.com. It's that simple. Family owned and operated.
When it comes to bulk landscaping materials, Blue Mills Garden and Landscape Center is where everyone goes. Whatever the project, we have the materials you need with over 40 varieties to choose from. Soils, mulches, gravels, decorative stones, fresh cut sod. Blue Mills has these products in stock and ready for easy pickup or fast delivery. So what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get your yard back into shape. Stop in and pick these materials up or call us for delivery today. Nobody does bulk landscaping materials better than Blue Mills Garden and Landscape Center.
Blue Mills, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Ivy Organics, Power Planter, Root Assassin, Beans and Barley, BioSafe, Bobex, Pomona Universal Pectin, Pro Plugger, Standard Process, Tomato Snaps. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show.
Dr.
Your
Earth is
host,
committed to
Julie
clean and
Halle
healthy
Berry.
gardening through creating cutting-edge natural and organic garden-friendly products. Based on research and innovation, after 28 years, they are the leader in the organic lawn and garden industry. They do not use ingredients such as biosolids or composted household waste or synthetic chemicals. Instead, they have manure-free fertilizer, organic soil, insect control, and liquid fertilizers. If you want to grow the best quality food organically to feed your family, that is the founding principles of what Dr. Earth is all about. They have experts to find the most innovative ways to help you grow your best organically. Visit drearth.com for more information on where to buy.
Did you have a good garden this year? Did you have problems in your garden this year? We had problems in our garden this year. Holly, what was some of the problems that we're facing and have faced?
We got all the weeds, but a lot of people have all the weeds, so I guess we're not alone, but we had a lot of weeds is one thing. You spent a lot of the spring pulling weeds out, purging the garden of the weeds and the weed roots and the weediness, and unfortunately, there's a lot of weeds. And actually,
and if I knew now what I know, in life, if you know now if you would have knew then what you know now, we all would have made better decisions in certain aspects. And I wouldn't have spent all that time. I wouldn't have spent about 2 weeks weeding the garden. I would have put effort into other things.
But the thing is that I was reading about this, and everybody has had more weeds, and the ragweed, which is also weed, and that's what causes falls allergies, is very high too. There was a lot of growth of ragweed, so we're all being doomed by the weeds this year.
So what are we going to do before we get into what our social media and listeners are going to do here?
We're going to build some raised beds.
Going to invest some time and some money and bring in good compost and create a quarter of the size of the garden in which we currently have. And we are projecting, based on our experience, that will produce 4 to 5 times more than what our current garden is making. Our current garden's 1,800 square feet. We're going to create raised beds that will create 272 square feet. And based on the good soil and the everything else that's going along with it, we should have 4 times more production than what we were having before that. So a couple of things that our social media people, we asked this on Facebook, and we got some feedback here.
Right. So the first one is the MKE Veg Garden. They said my peppers and eggplants produced, but they could have produced more if sown indoors 2 to 3 weeks earlier. Next week I will seed them next year, I will seed them around Valentine's Day instead of March 6th.
So it's not a terrible problem, but a couple of dates back there. And that's the thing with the eggplants and the peppers are very slow growers, and that's why you want to start them 10 to 12 weeks before your last average frost date in your area. And I always say if the plants are a little bigger inside than what you were wanting, that's a good thing. It's when they're very small and piddly inside and you're trying to move them outside and getting them transitioned, it's a very much more difficult shock to do such.
So, yeah, and then we go to Emma here, and she said total failure, 2 years counting, Brussels sprouts. This year I even tried 4 different times techniques. I had an early spring plant sown indoors in March that blew its sprouts, maybe not stomped in tight enough. I had 2 plants I direct seeded mid-June that were eaten by some critter. And the 4th one is actually still growing just fine, but was started mid-July, leaving me with hope for production unless I fashion some type of cloche for it, which is like a covering. How will I fix this next year? Well, I'll try not to go into with a I'm going to fail anyway attitude. Plants much prefer positive thoughts. Thank you, Emma. So sometimes when you maybe she should keep trying if she wants to, but sometimes you just have to let it go.
Yeah, and now Brussels sprouts, if you plant them too early in the spring and it gets cold and then it gets warm and then it gets cold again, it can mess with the plants. And brassicas are like this, where it will mess with the cycle because it thinks it went from cold to warm, summertime, and then back to cold again, and then it goes ahead and produces the harvest. So keep that in mind. And also with the Brussels sprouts, it may be a variety too. Some varieties are more tolerable to the more northern climates. Some are a little more tolerable of the warmer areas. But see what you can look up there. So.
Okay, and Sherry's been following us for quite some time, and she said, I can't seem to grow broccoli or brassicas for the life of me. I have clay soil, weeds went wild, too much rain for the west of Oshkosh, trying to start small garlic farm this October. My 3rd year with garlic, but my 1st year to grow to sell. Congratulations, Sherry. Trying to become food safety and organic certified help. So it sounds like she's having some problems with broccoli and brassica.
Well, we can't help you on broccoli or cauliflower because we can't grow that either. Brassicas, on the other hand, brassicas are also Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, kale, cabbages. Those do very well. The technique in which many successful gardeners and farmers who grow those crops they want a very loose tilt soil, but also they want their roots to be packed in extremely tight, kind of backwards. But you want to get your soil nice and loose, and then when you plant the start, press in the soil around the roots extremely tight in order for the roots and the plant to feel secure in the planting area.
So Sandra said that where should I start? My peas were a complete failure this year. I will rotate, but put my pea fence in a new spot and use some fertilizer. My beets were a huge failure this year as well. Next year, I'll remember to alternate Epsom salt and fertilizer as I did in the past, and mulch. I burned much of my peppers by adding too much chicken manure when I transplanted them. Instead, this fall I fertilizer so it has the winter to break down. The garden is, so she's in Dousman, which is just west of us a little bit.
In Wisconsin.
Yep, in Wisconsin. So
chicken manure will burn the plants, as she found out. Now, manure is not a bad thing. However, you want your manure, whatever the source is, to be aged so the plants do not get burnt. The burning procedure occurs because the manure has a high concentration of nitrogen that will destroy the root system on these plants. So that's why we have to let it age. Beets and other root crops, you want good loose soil. We have found carrots, beets to only be able to successfully to be grown in our garden in raised beds or pop-up raised beds or grow bags. And
the peas, we had not a good time with peas either. We had that really wet spring.
2 years ago, we had phenomenal peas, 5 foot tall, couldn't keep up with them. And then this year, we had difficulty as well with the peas.
So I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about that if your peas did not do well. We had a very wet spring.
You do want to trellis peas no matter what you do. because they have very soft stems, and they need structure in order to grow vertically. And if they do not have that structure, they will fall over, crimp the stem, and the plant will die at a very young, immature age. So that's a thing that you want to keep in mind there.
Okay, so Julia said that she lives in coastal Georgia. She had a hard time with Roma tomatoes this season. Roma tomatoes do like coastal temperatures.
San Marento.
But I would, if you're
too.
trying to grow something like a paste tomato, like a San Marzano,
San Marzano, yes,
or an Amish paste, I would go with Amish paste. We seem to have the best success with that. In our home, we live close to Lake Michigan, and we get really good success at our smaller garden, our home garden. We get really good success with those Amish paste tomatoes, but when the big garden that's more inland, we do not.
The garden that's inland is about, 5 miles, 6 miles off the coast of Lake Michigan?
The big garden is about 8 miles.
8 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between a half mile off the coast of Lake Michigan versus 6 miles.
We're about, our house is about half mile.
Half mile, right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to give a outline here. It shows the difference in the climates. And between the two gardens in the summertime, and for those of you who live next to a large body of water, there's a difference of 10 degrees.
Oh, yeah, especially I can feel it because I work more west, and I can feel it when I come east home from work. There's a 10-degree difference, especially in fall and spring. So, yeah, so those are some of the failures and I guess maybe not so good things. But I think the biggest thing is that this year we all fought weeds, and we also all fought that, especially in the Midwest, we had a very, very, very wet spring, and that was going to be problematic no matter what.
Yeah, so that's just some of the things there. Well, Holly, summer is over, fall is here, kids are back in school, and the nights are getting colder and colder in the upper portions of the Midwest, and you have forgotten about your yard, haven't you?
Yeah, just because it's fall, we don't want to forget about our yard and those Japanese beetles either. They may be gone, but they're not far. Not only did they feast on your roses and berries this summer, they laid eggs in your turf, so you can start again next year. Take a stand with Phylum's Grub-Gon. Grub-Gon is a non-chemical Bt granule that specifically targets scarab pests and their larvae. Simply apply the granule with the spreader, irrigate it in the soil, and let naturally occurring bacteria do its job.
Not only is Grub-Gon easy to use, but it's the only non-chemical, that's right, non-chemical choice that effectively controls grubs. And many, and my favorite part about this, because it's non-chemical, it's non-toxic to bees and other pollinators and the beneficials. So in fact, Grub-Gon has no restrictions for use around flowering plants, and you don't have to get on the ground and remove those dandelions before applying the product to your yard. It's a great thing. It's Phylum Bioproducts, Phyllom bioproducts.com. It's the natural choice. If you've never checked them out, you've got to look at it. It's something that will greatly affect positively your environment and your property. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, author, motivational speaker, Shawna Coronado will be with us.
Use Twitter to reach Joey and Holly at TWVG Show or hashtag TWVG.
Power Planter is a family-owned earth auger manufacturer. The Power Planter Earth Auger will transform your garden experience. It helps homeowners and professionals complete almost any planting or digging project faster and more efficiently than using a shovel or a spade. Power Planter Earth Auger creates loose dirt when drilling holes, giving your plants better root-to-soil contact to help reduce plant loss for healthier, more beautiful trees, shrubs, flowers, vegetables, and grass. All of our augers are hand-welded and made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Find the size that fits your project at powerplanter.com. Pharmaceuticals essential oils are high-grade, very pure, and high in quality. They have synergized blends made with the finest raw materials. For more information and to order, visit pharmaceuticals.com.
Take the pain out of planting with the Pro Plugger 5-in-1 planting tool. Step, twist, pull, and you're ready to plant. Digs perfect size planting holes. Soil gets stored in the tube and empties from the top. Helpful for weeding. ProPlugger.com. Do you have a problem with deer or small herbivores eating your vegetation? There is a natural solution that is safe for your pets and family. Bobex is the answer. An environmentally friendly solution to protect your plants, will not wash off, and is guaranteed. Bobex Deer was independently tested against 9 known competitors and rated 93% effective, second only to a physical barrier. Bobex can be used on all types of ornamentals, trees, and shrubs. Ask for it by name at your local independent garden center. Find out more, visit bobex.com. BOBBEX.com. Spending time scrubbing pesky dirt off your hands after gardening? Use Workman's Friend Superior Skin Cream with added barrier protection, creating a protective layer on your skin surface, allowing for easy cleanup, all while moisturizing and healing your skin. Non-greasy, fragrant-free, and fast-absorbing. Apply first, get to work, wipe clean. This friend has you covered for whatever you're getting into. Visit workmansfriendbrand.com.
Beans and Barley Market and Cafe, a neighborhood specialty grocery store for the east side and greater Milwaukee area, where you can find all you need, from fresh produce to bakery to organic frozen dinners, from wine to fresh squeezed carrot juice. A health food store with hundreds of products, vitamins, supplements, bath and body items, magazines, cards, books, and a knowledgeable staff. Catering available, open daily at 8 a.m. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week with a menu of good, healthy, homemade food, including vegetarian and non-vegetarian specialties. 1901 East North Avenue, Milwaukee, 414-278-7878, and online at beansandbarley.com.
Don't waste a precious resource like free leaves. They do a lot for your garden. This Michigan Garden Moment is brought to you by migardener.com. With over 450 varieties of heirloom and organic flowers, vegetables, and herb seeds, all for 99 cents a pack. Find out more at migardener.com. We all have leaves that fall on our property or very easily accessible from adjacent properties or friends that we know. Leaves are very powerful to the soil. They cover the soil, which protects it from the winter or from normal everyday sun scald, but also it actually feeds the soil. Leaves have a lot of nutrient value to them, and they break down and they can feed your microbial life as well as the earthworms. They also make a great mulch. Now, large leaves such as oak leaves are recommended to be shredded or broken apart, as if you just lay them on the ground, they create a very thick mat which is hard for water to penetrate through. Maple leaves that have spots on them, or maple spots, are perfectly fine to use, as they do not transmit that disease over to vegetation that you're growing in your garden. Pine needles work well as a mulch too, but they take a long time to break down. Now, you can store your leaves, dry leaves that is, in bags in a shed or a garage and use them throughout the summer months as mulch. We take leaves and build them up over our grow beds in the fall to where it's 2 or 3 foot high. Then, in the spring, we'll rake them back if we're planting seeds, or bring them back if we're planting a start, and then move the leaves back over the area to cover the soil. Great sources of leaves and a lot of benefit the garden can get from them. This Michigan Garden Moment is brought to you by migardener.com. With over 450 varieties of heirloom and organic flowers, vegetables, and herb seeds, all for 99 cents a pack. Find out more at migardener.com. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Clyde's Vegetable Planting Chart, Dharmaceutical, Dr. Earth, Flame Engineering, Handy Safety Knife, Hydrobox, Wisconsin Greenhouse Company, M.I. Gardner, Outpost Natural Food Co-op, Rootmaker, Soil Diva, Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support. It's fall and it's time for pumpkins, but where can we find pumpkins?
At Blue Mills.
We want some fall decor, let's say corn stalks for our front porch. Where can we get them at?
Blue Mills.
We want some fall mums to put around the porch for a little fall festival color. Where can we get those at?
Blue Mills. Blue Mills at 4930 West Loomis Road, just south of Layton. You can call 414-282-4220 or go to bluemills.com.
They also have the largest supplies of bulk material in the area, all that you can pick up or have delivered.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show as Shawna Coronado gets dialed in here. Shawna Coronado is a wellness and lifestyle advocate. She is all over the country with her motivational speaking, her authorism. She's got great books that she has self-published, so we will get her on in just a moment. As we've indicated several times in the show, you want to get a hold of us, you can certainly do that via email at twvgshow@gmail.com anytime, and you can find more information about us at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, where there's over 1,500 garden videos, short and long format. Well, we've got Shawna queued up. Hi, let's go to the Ivy Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline and bring in Shawna Coronado.
Sure. Shawna Coronado is a wellness lifestyle advocate, professional author, photographer, and media host who campaigns for social good. She is a Make a Difference passion focused on wellness. She teaches her readers how to reduce chronic pain with diet and exercise, grow organic produce and plants, all while exploring smart anti-inflammatory recipes and cooking ideas. Welcome to the program, Shawna.
Hey, thanks for having me. I haven't talked to you guys in, it has to be a year at least.
Yeah,
How have you been? How are you doing with your gardens this season?
We're doing pretty good. Our gardens were a little bit weedy, but other than that, pretty good.
We're going to transition to raised beds next year to avoid a lot of the headache in which we've been fighting with the weeds, and we'll up the production. So that's our solution to the problem.
Hey, I love that solution. In fact, as you know, I moved from Chicago to Arizona, right? I have to tell you what happened this summer. This is first of all, one of the most exciting things that ever happened in my life. It took us a whole year to get rid of all our crap in our house and pack and move and, have that whole experience. But in moving out to Arizona, we bought a house. It's a small property, and I weeded twice this summer. It took me 5 minutes. I just went out there and pulled a couple weeds, and I was done. Where back in Illinois, I weeded buckets every week. Absolutely.
Well,
buckets and buckets. So the overwhelming change has been that I have so much less maintenance than I had before. And our goal is the same as yours, which is to elevate all the beds. I've been using the veg trug. I love the veg trug. They're fabulous. And when you elevate the beds, you have no weeding whatsoever. So that's another benefit.
Now, is that one of the and you've mentioned you moved from Chicago, which is zone, was it 5, 6 or something?
5B.
5B.
Yeah, 5B. And now I live in zone 9B.
So
I'm in Mesa, Arizona.
A major transition all the way across the board there.
Mm-hmm. And good for me. I have, as you know, because of what I've been writing and talking about the last 2 years, in 2015 I was diagnosed with severe degenerative osteoarthritis of the spine. There's no cure for that. So finding ways to creatively live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, where I've reduced the amount of strain on my back, but also increased the amount of positive lifestyle changes. That's really what my goal has become.
Okay. So aside from less weeding out there and you're going to build some raised beds, I'm sure there's a lot of other gardening differences. Was there some that you noticed, even though sounds like you have a full season of gardening? Maybe you can still garden now. What?
Oh, yeah. Here's the deal. The big change in moving to Arizona is in the winters, that's the season. So my seasons have reversed. It used to be that I only had 3 months of gardening, which was really the summer season in Illinois, right? Now I have 3 months of winter, which is actually summer, because in the summertime it's over 100 degrees here in Mesa. So it's too difficult and too hot to grow vegetables. People do it, but it's very challenging. You have to use a lot of water. There's all kinds of, it's too hard, okay? So I don't grow during the summer. However, in the winter, I have 2 full gardening seasons. I grow from September to December, and then it's still warm during the day. It's like in the 50s during the day, but at night, it gets down to 30 degrees and, like somewhere between 30 and 40 at night. And this lasts until mid-January. So you can grow winter vegetables in January and December. And then at the end, sometime in February, you can start growing another vegetable season. So from February until May, then, I have another full vegetable growing season. So for me, I've lost the snow the drama, the minus 50-degree temperatures, and I have gained 2 full gardening seasons. It's amazing.
That definitely sounds really pretty neat. Now, you have taken on this whole new approach to healthy living, as you mentioned your osteoarthritis. Now, and you talk about the inflammatory foods, or the anti-inflammatory foods. What are some foods that do trigger the inflammatory or inflammation in our bodies?
Okay, so the food plan that I'm on, and by the way, I want all of you listeners out there to go out and find an integrative, functional nutritionist or health professional. The key terms there, you can search for it in your area, is integrative functional. Integrative functional experts, they're not woo-woo type of professionals. They are medically trained, okay, but they, instead of just treating with a Band-Aid, here, have a pill, instead of doing that, they look at your total lifestyle and try to find out exactly what's wrong with you, right? What's causing your chronic pain or chronic condition, and then they help treat you. So I went to an integrative functional nutritionist who put me on a diet. That diet eliminated dairy and grains and heavy sugars. So my diet is essentially no dairy, no grain, low sugar. And when I say that to people, they're like, my God, what do you eat? Well, I grow so many vegetables. Almost any vegetable is anti-inflammatory. I mean, vegetables and whole foods are where it's at. So it's the dairy and the grains that are really, for me personally, are triggering me. You might have a different reaction. If you go to an integrated functional expert, they're going to try to find out what is it that you are food sensitive to. But the book that I wrote this season that's coming out is called Stacked with Flavor, and it's really a guidebook. At the beginning, it's a whole food plan where I tell you, what is this diet that I'm on and how does it work. I give you all kinds of advice. And then the end of it is a meal planner so that you can lay out what things, what things you might be sensitive to or not, and plan your meals monthly. And then, of course, the whole interior of the book is all a cookbook. And so it's interesting that I came from garden roots, and I kept telling myself that, vegetables aren't that important. And then I'm struck down with this horrible disease, and I switched to mostly vegetables, like a lot of vegetables. I still eat chicken and fish and all that, but, I eat a lot more vegetables than I did before. And I'm going back to my roots of growing up in Indiana on a farm and growing vegetables and eating them and making that really an incorporated part of my health routine, which is really, really important. So that's the long and short of it. Dairies and grains I would toss out of my diet, and I have forever. Now, here's the result. Right now, when I was diagnosed, I could barely walk. Right now, I have about 80% less pain than I did when I was diagnosed. And that's 3 years into eating like this. It has been miraculous for me.
Well, and when you go to that integrated, correct me on that, not a general doctor, they want to get you well. They just don't want to take your money and keep you in the system, as we've kind of found out, and some of us have known for many years that's what the big system is all about.
Oh, my gosh. You're saying it, man, because I went to my osteosurgeon, a guy who's an expert, and he's like, the only cure for you is pain therapy. Pain therapy is opioids. I'm like, I don't want pain therapy. I want to fix as much as I can without having to go to a medication. So you are absolutely, and here's the deal. Reducing it, so inflammatory conditions are more than just chronic pain issues. It's diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, allergies. All of my allergy symptoms are severely reduced now compared to, I used to be year-round. I would have like 4 sinus infections a year. And now I haven't had one since I've gone on the diet, not a single one. So the important difference between this food plan that I'm on and what I did before was before I restricted myself to a 1,200 calorie a day diet because society tells me I need to be beautiful, all right? First of all, I need to be a perfect mother. I also need to be a perfect wife. I need to work full-time. but I also need to care for all these people. And I need to do all of that while I'm looking perfect. I think society, those pressures that we're getting from the magazines and the newspapers and whatever is what's causing people to be so very unhappy, because there's no way that I could, eating 1,200 calories a day, I could barely think straight, let alone, do all that I'm supposed to do. So changing the diet was also a lifestyle change, because I stopped eating to stay thin, and I started eating to feel better. And I targeted foods that would actually make me feel better. And I don't mean happier, like eating a lot of desserts, and having this sugar euphoria. I mean eating to feel better so that I have less chronic pain, less feel bad days, and more feel good days.
Well, that might be the secret to life, Shawna. You may have just you've shared us the secret that people have been looking for many years.
Well, let's hope that my goal, although, I do make a living writing books and doing my thing, my real goal in life is to inspire people to live well. And that, I think, has become my life's mission, to help people. And when I go and speak, like at the Mother Earth News Fairs and these different places I'm at, the people that come up to me afterwards, I mean, some of them are in wheelchairs and have been stuck in wheelchairs for years because they've been doing the give me a pill solution instead of actively trying to find their own health. We need more people to find their own health.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective in life, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you touched on your new book. It's called Stacked with Flavor. You talked about kind of what's in there. Is there any fun little tidbit that you want to share about it, aside from the synopsis you provided?
Oh yeah, let me tell you. The number one thing, especially men walk up to me after these events and they're like, "Hey, I have been given a diabetes diet. It tastes like crap. Help me. What are you going to do to help me with this?" And so the tidbit is, the first few chapters are filled with herb and spice seasoning combinations that you can make from scratch. They taste so much better than these packaged ones, and I think I've discovered why. If you go in, I used to love this packaged seasoning mix called Slap Ya Mama, and I went and looked at the back of that. It is filled with so much crud, right? It's a lot of chemicals and all that sort of thing. So I started teaching these people how to make homemade seasoning mixes. They could grow their own herbs, but you can also just go out and get herbs and spices and make them from scratch without all the artificial ingredients. It tastes so much better. And so my little tidbit is, I want more people to be adding more seasoning to their cooking. And a quick tip, if you want to increase how vegetables taste so that they taste better, you roast them. Roasting is the secret. So I get 1 pound of vegetables plus 1 tablespoon of your favorite seasoning mix, add a little olive oil, and bake that, and that sucker is going to taste like gold. I mean, so delicious.
Well, Shawna, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program. You're beaming with information and excitement. How can people find out more about you and get your books?
Please go to my website, ShawnaCoronado.com, and if you want to find me on social media, everything is under my name, so you can just at Shawna Coronado anywhere, and you'll find me. But the book that is out right now, Stacked with Flavor, if you want a 10% discount, where you can get it is you go to the Mother Earth News store. So go to MotherEarthNews.com, click on store, and my book is in there, and you can get it for 10% off.
Well, Shawna, we greatly appreciate you coming on the program and enlightening Holly, myself, and all of our listeners with all of your great information and knowledge.
Well, thank you.
And when we come back, it's all going to be about your garden questions and our garden answers. We're going to tackle a little bit of early blight. Does butter help foaminess on your jam when you're canning it? And some other questions that come in this week. You're listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show.
If you have a gardening question, now is the time to call in. on the ivorganics.com 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline at 414-444-5250.
The Handy Safety Knife is a patented high-quality knife that's worn like a ring, so it's always conveniently at hand and very easy and efficient to work with. That's why you'll find the Handy Safety Knife at work in a wide range of industries and applications. Learn more at handysafetyknife.com.
Use coupon code WVG to get 10% off and free shipping, one-time use only at handysafetyknife.com.
Pomona's Universal Pectin is high-quality pectin that gels reliably with low amounts of any sweetener. If you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, you'll love Pomona's Universal Pectin. Now you can make healthy homemade jams and jellies sweetened to your taste. You can use sugar, honey, or any alternative sweetener you'd like. Pomona's Universal Pectin keeps indefinitely when stored in an airtight container. Easy to use, versatile, and comes with directions and recipes in every box. Find out more and where to buy at PomonaPectin.com. Available at most natural food stores and online.
Do you seek safe, effective nutrition solutions to boost your health and quality of life? Standard Process is your trusted whole food supplement manufacturer with 90 years of expertise. Our third-generation family-owned company proudly grows nutrient-rich ingredients at our certified organic farm in Palmyra, Wisconsin, enabling us to produce high-quality whole food solutions that change lives. For help identifying the best supplements for you, find a local healthcare professional today at standardprocess.com/patients.
The number one key to healthy, productive plants are the roots. Starting from seed to full-grown plants, rootmaker.com has the answer. From seed starting trays with an innovative design that air prunes the roots, creating a fabulous root system, never again will you have root-bound plants, to multiple gallon grow bag sizes to raised beds. Rootmaker.com has your grow needs covered. Visit rootmaker.com. Flame Engineering, home of the Weed Dragon, the perfect propane torch kit for home and garden use. For killing weeds, no need to pull or spray. 100 other uses. Find out more at flameengineering.com. Use coupon code WVG19 to get free shipping.
Here at Outpost Natural Foods, it's not just that we're community-owned that sets us apart. It's the fabulous foods we sell. We celebrate Earth Day every day by offering our customers the finest natural and organic food selections in Greater Milwaukee. Outpost local farmers and vendors provide our stores with a delicious selection of fresh seasonal produce that you won't want to miss. Outpost stores are located in Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, Bayview, and Mequon. We're a real Milwaukee original where anyone can shop and anyone can join. For the whole scoop about Outpost, we invite you to visit www.outpost.coop.
Blue Mel's Garden and Landscape Center offers an awesome selection of high-quality garden and landscape products. We have just the plants you're looking for: annuals, perennials, veggies, herbs, and more. Plus, you can always count on us to answer all of your questions and offer expert advice. Blue Mel's also carries the largest selection of bulk landscape materials in the area. Enjoy a beverage from our coffee shop while your kids run around in our huge playground. Join our growing list of highly satisfied customers. Visit the garden center that offers everything you're looking for. Visit Blue Mel's today.
Blue Mel's, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Eco Garden Systems, Row Maker, Shield and Seal, World's Coolest Rain Gauge, Big Fats Hot Sauce, Chapin International, Drip Garden, Norwalk Juicers, Nunu Healing Ointment, Phylum Bioproducts, Soil Savvy, Tree Ripe. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
IV Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard naturally protects plants against damaging sunburn, insects, and rodents. Protects newly installed plants and trees. Shield, prune, and damaged surfaces for use on your roses, fruit and nut trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs. This product is non-toxic, environmentally safe, and organic. For more information, you can visit ivorganics.com. You can send us an email through the IV Organic 3-in-1 Plant email inbox. That would be twvgshow@gmail.com. Or you can send us a text on the Instant Access IV Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard Instant Access text hotline. That's 414-368-9311. Again, 414-368-9311. We have some questions.
Had questions coming this week. One is, when making jam, it gets foamy. I have heard adding a little butter will keep the foam down. Is there truth to this since you are a multi-award winning canner?
If making freezer fridge jam, that's okay. Making shelf-stable jam, I wouldn't recommend it just because of that.
Shelf-stable meaning like in the water bath canner.
Right.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it just because of that butter component.
Because it's a fat, and you are processing for shelf-stable longevity on it. And correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't say it in the recipe that's certified, approved by the National Home for Food Preservation, bulk canning.
I've also discovered that when there's a recipe, you need to follow the order of operations. And every time I do that, then the foam doesn't typically occur. So
there may be a disconnect somewhere along the line.
So you have to add the ingredients as they say in the correct order.
All right. What plants should I not deadhead in order to leave the seeds for the birds this fall?
So many of the ornamental grasses, sunflowers, coneflowers, the daisy kind of looking flowers with the flat things and then the petals coming out of them, I guess is what you want to call them.
There's things you don't want to deadhead because it will affect the growth of next spring too. But these are
you want
just
to do your research. So black-eyed Susan, cosmos, zinnias, coreopsis, marigolds, asters, snapdragons, and then goldenrod. There's a lot of goldenrods around our area. Yeah, so those are some. So those are the perennials and annuals that produce seed heads for those birds to enjoy.
Okay, is fall the best time to feed your lawn, and what do I use if that is the time to do such?
Yep, fall is the best time to feed your lawn, and what you would do is you would do it now, and then you're going to do it right before the first expected hard freeze.
Okay.
And you feed it with something that's high in nitrogen. So if you're looking at the bag of fertilizer, lawn feed, you can just go to your local garden center and ask what to feed your lawn with.
Now, the nitrogen, that's the first number on your fertilizer bag. There are organic versions and there are chemical versions. So you have to figure out what you feel is best for your area and what you are required, because it's when feeding your lawn, it's not one fixes all.
No, but you want to feed in the fall. That's ideal. And you want to try to do it twice before the first hard freeze.
Wendy drops us a line in our Facebook page inbox, and you can go to Facebook and search The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener and find us right there, and all of our content, in-studio videos, podcast, everything there. She is in Waukesha County, for those of you who are not aware of that location. It's just outside of the Milwaukee area. And her question's about peppers. All of our peppers are still green. We've got one or two ripe ones about 2 weeks ago, but the rest are not ripening. Should I leave them on the vine or pick them green at this point? Low temperatures are supposed to be in the 40s coming up. Well, she is right about the green peppers. A green pepper is an unripened pepper. Society has taught us that a green pepper is a green pepper. Well, what you can do, Wendy, is go ahead and pick those peppers now, even though they're green. Bring them inside, set them on a counter, on a shelf, somewhere out of direct sunlight, out of direct heat, and over a course of about 2 weeks, those peppers will magically, but there's science behind it, they will ripen. They will change pigment to a red or a yellow or an orange color, and they will be just as sweet as if you left them on the vine. If we can leave peppers on the vine in those in the warmer climates or during the summer months, leave them on the vine. They will ripen, and it will work very well. But yeah, bring them inside, ripen them. They'll be just fine. Kay writes in on our Twitter page and wants to know, I have a lot of tomatoes, but the plants are all dead and there's no leaves on the plants. The plants are in a bag covered with about 2 to 3 inches of cocoa mulch. Maybe I should have used cedar mulch this year, plan to next year. Any advice? Well, yes, for early blight, that is the soil splashing up on the leaves that will progressively work up the plant and kill the leaves off, and by the end of the season you have a stalk with tomatoes and no leaves. You don't want to use cedar. You don't want to use any wood chips unless you're going to like a back-to-Eden garden method. The reason being is in a traditional garden or raised bed, wood chips sit there, take a very long time to break down, and at some point you're probably going to till the soil or maneuver the soil around, and those wood chips will get buried in the soil, and they do take a certain percentage of nitrogen out of the soil. And it depletes that available nitrogen for your plants in which you are growing. So recommendations are just good straw, chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, leaves. You can always stockpile leaves in a shed, barn, in bags to use that. But yes, straw works as well. And try to avoid using wood chips. That's not really the best means in order for mulch when it comes to a garden. Before we get into what's coming up next week on the program, Holly, remind them about the executive sponsor.
The executive sponsor of the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is Power Planter. Planting conditions are always favorable with the Power Planter Earth Auger. No matter what the job is, Power Planter has the right size for you. Simply attach to a drill and let the Power Planter do the work for you. Create planting holes fast and efficiently with ease. No matter the soil type, it does the job effortlessly. Increase your root to soil contact. Leave the shovel and spade in the shed. Hand welded and made in the USA, we offer a lifetime warranty on product defects. Find the size that fits your project at powerplanter.com.
Tune in next week. Do not miss the program. We're going to go over some house plants and the reasons why you may want to include them into your home, as well as the importance of covering soil, whether it's in the summertime and we're not growing anything in the bed, or winter and we're leaving the garden abandoned. The importance of covering that soil. And seed expert Terry Chase will be with us, plus your garden questions. Miss any portion of this program or want to revisit in its entirety, you can do that in a couple of different options. One, by going to your favorite podcast-providing platform and searching the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show or the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener podcast. You can also go to the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and clicking on the radio tab at the top of the page for all of Season 3, and the Season 1-2 tab for Season 1 and 2. And on the right-hand side is all segments of all past shows. Until next week, for Holly Baird, I'm Joy Baird, and we will see you in the garden.
You have been listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show. Tell a friend and join Joy and Holly again next week so we can all grow together. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is a production of the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com in association with WI Garden Media Broadcasting, live from the WNOV 860 AM and the W293CX 106.5 FM, Courier Communication Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.